Welcome to my playthrough of Orchard, a 9-card solitaire game. Orchard is fantastic. It is part of a series of games that are all 9-card solitaire games where you overlap different features to score points. Really simple, easy games to play. They play in 10 minutes or less. I usually play them in 7 or 8 minutes each. And Orchard is the first one. The second one is called Grove. And the third one is called Forage. Definitely worth your effort. They're all from Side Room Games. I highly recommend. And, well, let's go to the videotape for our playthrough. All right. Thanks for joining. Okay, we're going to play Orchard, a 9-card solitaire game. So we have a 9-card deck. And we start out the game very simply by taking the top card off the deck and placing it face up on the table. As you can see, there are 3 types of trees here with yellow, red, or purple fruit. Each of those trees has it's like lemons, apples, and berries. Anyway, we have dice that go with each color tree. So we have yellow dice, we have orange dice, and we have purple dice. And those dice will be used to track points, which you'll understand in a second. And then we draw 2 cards to be our hand. And I've already kind of done this, and I kind of already know a good starting play. So a good starting play is right here. You got a yellow and a red, and then a purple and a red if I overlap these 4 here. Right? So for every tree I overlapped, I take a die, and I place it with 1 pip up, showing that each of those spaces has scored 1 point. And that's basically how you play. However, obviously there's more to it, and we will go through as much as we can. I'm going to do something stupid here just to demonstrate another important rule. Okay? As you can see, this card here, we have a purple that matches the purple here, a red that matches the red here, but a red that does not match the yellow there. Well, there is a way around that. And then we have a purple here and a yellow here. So 4 out of 5 will overlap. So I'm going to play this card. And then for the one tree that had mismatch in the overlap, I have to put a fruit down. That fruit will be -3 points at the end of the game. Generally, you don't want to be doing that, especially not this early in the game. But I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. Then I have these 2 dice that overlapped. I get to actually increment them up and get more points. So instead of 1 point, I turn the die, and each die scores me 3 points. Okay? Then for the 2 that overlap that I don't have dice, I get to add dice, and I get to add 1 point each. So now you can see that incrementing up got me a lot of points. Now, if I'm able to overlap those again, I get even more points because the next time I increment up, I get 6 points. And if I increment up one more time, I get 10 points. So you can get up to 10 points on a single die. And that's really kind of your goal, is to increment up as much as possible and score all the points. And I'm going to do that again here. I have 2 purple and a gold here. So I'm going to overlap these 3 spaces. Right, so then this 1 purple on the end will increment up to a 3. This 3 purple will increment up to a 6. And this 1 yellow will increment up to a 3. Then I draw another card. Always have 2 cards in hand. That's a big part of the game. Now, I made things hard by starting out the game. We're taking a fruit. And this bottom area is hard to play any cards because of that. So generally, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would recommend waiting to play your fruit later in the game. But playing fruit in general is obviously a very good strategy because it does allow you to score more points. Don't mind me, I'm just sitting here studying these cards, trying to figure out the best way for me to maximize points. I don't see a particularly great play. So I'm going to go with a simple play over here where I stick a red in and a purple in. The purple overlays increments up to a 6. And for the red that overlaid, I get 1 point. Then I draw another card. Okay, so here we go again. Trying to come up with the best point score that we can get. And that's easier said than done. I would love to be able to get into that purple again, but I'm just not having the luck to get the right colors. I could do this, but I would have to take another fruit because I have yellow on red there. My microphone's creating a little bit of a shadow on here, so hopefully that's not too distracting. I do not see a great play. I seem to be stuck with bad plays. So I'm going to do a stupid thing, and I'm going to take the second fruit. There's only 2 fruit in the game. And I got purple on purple, yellow on red on red, and purple on purple. So 3 out of 4 are good, and 1's a mismatch. This is really not the best way to play the game by taking so many fruits so early. But this does allow me to increase both of these 6s up to 10s, and this 1 red up to a 3. So I lose 3 points on the fruit, but I do get a lot of points on the others. Now, I got to move some dice to do this play, but I can go up here where I have a red and yellow on yellow and a yellow on yellow. So I place that there. I get to increment this up to a 6, and I get to add 2 1-point yellow dice. Finally, I draw a card, and I'm down to my last 2 cards. But I've already created a huge problem for myself with how I play this, so whatever happens, happens at this point. I'm looking for different solutions to this, and I'm just not finding a whole lot. I can't overlay a fruit, so that is a limiting factor. I'm just going to go on the edge over here, play it here. I got a red on red and a purple on purple. Just because I don't have much else to do, I'm going to play this up here. I'm overlaying a red on red, purple on purple, red on red, yellow on yellow. I get a bunch of 1-pointers. Not a very good last play. I did not play this game well. Putting down those fruit early really limited me. But I do get to demonstrate something here. Both of these red overlaid on top of reds, but I only had 1 red die left, so I could only play 1 of the red dice. So I basically lost out on a score there. So now I tally up my scores. First thing I do is take my 2 fruits. They're minus 6 points. Let's take a 6-point die and just remove it. Then I got 10 points with this guy, 10 points with this guy. Then I'll take these 2 3s and 4 1s. Get another 10 points there. And there's 5 1s left over. That leaves us with 5 more points. So that's 35 points. That is a mediocre game. If you open the rule book, you'll see that 35 points is considered remarkable. And it's generally scale. A really, really good score is over 55. But generally anything over 40 is decent. I find 35 is middling. Just okay, you know. I think anything over 40 is what I consider to be good. But, you know, 35 is not terrible, so we'll take it. And that's how you play Orchard. Orchard's a really fun game. It's the first part of a series of a trio of games, a trilogy, if you will. Orchard, Grove, and Forage. They all use roughly the same mechanisms, but vary in how they implement them. So we have all three, and I will say this, I think that all three work as individual games, that having all three is not entirely redundant. It's kind of like having different versions of Azul or Ticket to Ride or anything like that. It works quite well. So thank you for joining me today. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments about Orchard or any of its sequels. We will be following up with the video about Grove in our next edition. All right, thank you for the very first playthrough on SpielMill's channel for Orchard, a 9-card solitaire game. Remember, every day that you game is a holiday.